We're here at the Galaxy Cinemas for the Youth Film Festival, and I'm here with James Schlonies, and he is the creator of Anamki, and it's one of the entries into the film festival. I've seen it. It's a great film. So can you tell me what the inspiration was for your film?
Well, my friend Carlos is in university and he needed projects for his final project in his school, so I agreed to help him, and then we developed it from there.
It was great, and it was inspirational for people looking for help in places that are not traditional.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of Aboriginal themes to it. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I went through a lot of organizations myself whenever I struggled with depression.
Right.
And a lot of them I didn't find offered the sources I needed. So I started going to Mohawk Native Cultural Resource Center, and I found that gave me a lot of supports that I couldn't find elsewhere.
Right, and so you used, there was a lot of drumming in there, and it was beautiful, quite beautiful. Were they friends of yours that were helping you with that?
Yes, we actually recorded it live at our men's drum group.
Really, that was really unique. And what gave you that inspiration? Did someone from the center, give you that idea, or was that something you came with up on your own?
Well, we've been recording our songs for a little while now, so we decided we'd do something different and record it live for the video.
So with the help that you've gotten, it seems to have given you a lot of confidence. And did doing this film do the same for you?
Yeah, I found it did.
It does take a lot of confidence to enter a film in the festival. We look forward to seeing his film shortly.
When I was in grade 10, I dropped out of school and I was forced to do home study. I did this so I could finish the credits I needed for school, and the tutor I had was a supply teacher that met with me at the public library. But I still failed. For someone who is suicidal, you'd think that they wouldn't push their problems on them once they know they can no longer handle them. No one really listened, no one understood, no one seemed to care. I tried to get help, so I went through medications, psychiatric evaluation thingies, support people, support things, mental health support, but sometimes I just felt worse after. When I was in grade 7, I started to come to the Native Center. The staff from Mohawk helped me make a medicine bag. They helped me with smudging, and I joined a family drum circle. They also helped my family to cope with what was happening in my life, and Mohawk suggested to me to try out to horse therapy, and I found it really helpful. At the center, drumming helped me to express myself, whereas before I didn't defend myself and I didn't do anything about it. I was not speaking up for myself. It's hard to explain how it works if you haven't experienced it for yourself, but it is very powerful to hear someone talking about it and sharing teachings and then to do it yourself. Now I am working to help others that go through similar issues. My work as a member of Mohawk's board of directors is to advocate for other Indigenous youth that live off reserve in my area. Now I am open to telling others what I've been through. I find that sharing does help others.
And we're here with Adrian Wagoner, and his partner in crime is gone. He didn't want to be here, and his name is Chris Cool. Now, you're responsible for 2 of the entries in the show, in the festival tonight, but we're going to talk about the first one, which is the knock knock joke. I've seen this one, and it's funny, and I really liked it. It's well, it's about a knock knock joke. It's as simple as that. What was your inspiration for that one?
Well, originally we were just working on it as a school project, but it kind of developed into more than that. We were watching an art film, like one of those really like with a hidden meaning, and that's where this kind of came from. It's supposed to be like sort of a satire on those because you're not really sure what it necessarily means.
It can mean a whole lot or it can mean nothing.
Exactly.
Right, it can mean a whole lot or nothing. But it was really funny, and it's very basic. There's not a whole lot of set design. It's just the two of you talking, and then there's a few other things. It's a really great film. But then you did another one, and it's called Tech Time with Malkovich. Also, Chris is in that one too. He doesn't want to be here for that either. I don't know why. He's a very funny character. He's a good actor. Did he do anything technical in either of the...
Oh, yeah, no, Chris is a big part of the production. I'm basically just directing everything. Chris does a lot of the color correction, and we both do our share of editing. But, yeah, he's a big part of it.
Now, with Tech Time with Malkovich, I learned from that.
That was the purpose of the video. It was a class project again, but we spent more time on the montage than the actual content of the video. The introduction, yeah.
It's about teaching people about cell phones, and for people in my era, people could watch that and actually learn how a cell phone works. But it's very simple, and there's humor in it too. Now, what was your inspiration for that other than being a class project?
Well, it was, so you know at the start of movies they'll have like that little tech introduction thing. It's like talked about the most recent tech items. That's where we got our idea from it. And we just decided to go with it, make it as low budget looking as possible, and that's where it came from.
It does look low budget, but it was probably there is a lot of creativity in it, and it was difficult, I'm sure, to make. So what inspired you to enter these into the festival?
Oh, well, I've done it for the last 4 years now, so...
So you're a veteran in that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we look forward to seeing you, seeing your films tonight and seeing how you do, and best of luck to you.
Thank you, thank you.
And we'll look forward to seeing the film shortly.
Man, today is just great. Yep, nothing's gonna go wrong today. No way.
Hey.
Hey.
So do you know what a knock-knock joke is?
Yeah, I know what a knock-knock joke is.
All right, cool. I got a really good one, but you gotta start it.
Okay. Knock knock.
Who's there? Chris? Chris? Hello? Chris?
Who's there? All right, kid, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Who's there? I don't know. I have no idea. All right, kid, you wanna play hardball? I can play ball. I got another question for you. Knock, knock. Who's there? You see, that's what I've been trying to figure out for my entire damn career. And you are the last piece of the puzzle I need to figure it out. Okay, kid? So I'm gonna ask you, who's there?
I have no idea who's there. What are you talking about?
Alright, we have ways of making scum like you talk. Ways of making scum like you talk.
And scum like you talk. And scum like you talk.
We're here with Ronan Stanford, and Ronan's entry to the film festival was The Bird, and I've seen that movie too, and it was a kind of scary movie, a little bit funny, but a lot scary. And there was a lot of work that went into that movie, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah. And there was more than just you, though, that helped with this movie, and your team is right behind us cheering for you. But it was a group effort. It's about, how many people would you say worked on your team? 3 or 4?
Yeah, like 3 or 4.
And were they friends or family?
Friends and family.
Oh, well, that really was a good effort. Now, what was your inspiration to doing this film? Was it a school some people say it was a school project. Some people say it was something they've always wanted to do. Was it a school project?
No, I just kind of like making movies and stuff, so.
So you've done this before?
Yeah.
Have you entered things in the film festival before?
Yeah, last year I did.
Oh, so this isn't the first time. Now you're going to see it on the big screen tonight. How do you feel about that?
It's gonna be cool. It's fun.
Yes.
Fun.
Yes, it's going to be exciting. So now tonight there's going to be prizes, or there's going to be awards for youth, and then there's going to be a big prize, and there's going to be the People's Choice, so that's going to be exciting. Mm-hmm. And now, how long did it take you to make this film?
Like a week or two.
So it was a pretty long time to make this film. And did anyone of any of your friends and family preview it before you entered it?
Yeah, our family did. My family did.
What did they think of it?
They liked it.
Well, that's good. So we're going to be seeing it in a while, and that movie is The Bird. And so we look forward to seeing it later.
How was school today? It sucked. Hey, look. There's that house where the man and his crow died. Hey, I bet $10 you can't go in there alone. I want 15. Okay, it's a deal. Okay, Zach, I leave you here. Have fun.
I'm here with Nadia Danieluk, and she is the festival organizer for the Grey Bruce Youth Festival. Welcome.
Hi, how are you today, Sharen?
I'm very well. And I've seen the previewed, the films that are in the festival, and they are wonderful.
They are fun. It's so nice every year to see what is being created by the youth from across Grey and Bruce counties.
There's a lot of talent. Some of them are very serious, some of them are just very creative, and some of them are pretty funny.
Yeah, it runs the gamut. It absolutely does.
What are some of the, is it just a winner, or do you have categories?
We have 4 categories this year. So we will be doing first place junior, so that's filmmakers in grades 7 to 9. And then we have a senior category for the filmmakers in grades 10 to 12. We do a People's Choice Award, so when you go into the film tonight, you grab a ballot and you get to vote for your personal favorite film. And then as well, we have a new category this year for Grey Bruce Pride, and they're supporting a category for a film that focuses on an LGBTQ2 storyline.
Well, thanks very much for joining us, Nadia, and we look forward to seeing, as I said, seeing the outcome too, seeing who wins. But actually, in the end, they're all winners for taking the initiative to do this, and it takes a lot of confidence
and
to do
get
that.
To see their film up on the big screen here at Galaxy Cinemas, which I
know
think is amazing.
How many of us get to do that?
I know, and so generous of them to let us use their theater for the event.
Yes, and we can hear them making slushies or whatever it is in the background.
Lots of popcorn for all.
Yes. So thanks a lot again, Nadia.
All right, thanks, Jen.
All right, bye.
Cheers.
I'm here with Katrina Harrison, and she was the winner of the Grey Bruce Pride Award, but her entry was called Thunderfinder, and I saw it before the festival, and I really enjoyed it. And of course, it was wonderful seeing the film on a big screen. How did you find seeing it on the big screen at the theater?
Wow, it was, I guess, kind of embarrassing, but also like it felt kind of unreal.
It was really amazing to see it. And what was the inspiration to your film? I know it had a really personal message for us. And can you tell us a little bit about it?
I guess I was thinking more about how like this stuff needs to be talked about more. So I figured like not even just for me to say it, but like for other people, just to kind of like spread it more, like how Pride is like, it's not just a one-day thing out of the whole year.
Yes. Your film had not just a message, it wasn't just helping yourself, but it had a message for other people too that might have been going through the same issues that you had. Yeah. And so it was really inspiring. So thank you very much for talking to us, and congratulations, it was really well done. Do you think you'll put in a film next year?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about doing another Pride film next year.
Well, we enjoyed it, so good work and good luck. Do you think you'll do any more films?
Maybe. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking about it though.
Well, you did a great job. You're very creative, and we look forward to seeing more of your work. Thank you. And we'll be seeing Katrina's film here later.
Bonjour, nim Kinsqueen Dishnakas, Makwedo Dem, Mwikodong Donjiba. Hi, my spirit name is Little Thunder Woman. My English name is Katrina. I'm from the Bear Clan and I live in Owen Sound. I am two-spirited and I want to share my story. When I was younger, I wonder why I didn't get crushes, but my siblings did. I thought I was broken or just waiting for the right person. When I was 15, I was using the internet more and found out an LGBTQ term, asexual. This really fit how I felt, not feeling any sexual attraction to anyone. No, I'm not a plant. Some asexuals are repulsed by sex, and some, like me, have indifference to it. Learning this really helped my self-esteem because I finally have a word to explain myself. Once I graduated, I went to Ottawa for college. In Ottawa, I found other two-spirited people at the Pride Parade and at a two-spirit circle. The two-spirit circle was a safe place for me because I could talk about what being two-spirit means to me and hear the stories of others. I am in the process of moving back to Owen Sound for a couple of reasons. One of them is to learn teachings under a medicine man, Glenn Tribbett, who works at the Native Center. I also came back because I feel I need to come and help out in my community. In this past summer, I went to the first Indigenous Life Festival with my mom, which took place at Blue Mountain Village. It was there that I heard of a vision that one of my elders had. Girls were sitting and playing at the grandfather drum. This inspired me, because I look female, to ask if I, as a two-spirited person, can play at the grandfather drum. I was accepted, and it then gave me courage to come out as two-spirited to the women's drum circle. I think I was more afraid of rejection from people who knew me since I was a preteen than rejection from people who hadn't known me for as long. The next step for me in life that I want to take is to finish moving back to Owen Sound, learn more Two-Spirit teachings, and start a Two-Spirit circle at the Friendship Center. I have hope that it will encourage others to learn about Two-Spirit and LGBTQ.
We're here with Megan Akers, and she was the winner of the junior first prize in the Grey Bruce Youth Film Festival. And Megan submitted a film called Stolen Children, and it was all about the residential school experience for the many children that were involved in that. And it was a lot of suffering, and it was a really horrible time in our Canadian history. And what inspired you to film about that?
Well, it was really the lack of education that people around me had. Like, I didn't even know about this topic until a while ago when I heard it on, like, the radio as I was driving. And I was like, that's crazy. How have I never heard about this before? Like, it's tragic, and it affects so much of our nation. So when I wanted to create this video, I decided to do it on this topic to, like, educate people and teach people about what happened.
So do you think that there'll be any plans to show it in schools or anywhere around the area?
Well, yes, it's already been shown at my school as well as a couple elementary schools near us, and it's just getting the word out about it. So I hope that more people can see it because it means more people get educated.
Well, you do a good job, and really, as we've seen, you know, even though a lot of the films, well, they all had a message, but even if it's done through humor, you can send a message and people will learn through it. So really good luck on your future endeavors, and I hope everyone can have a chance to see your film, because it does have a really good message and people will learn through it. And I hope people can see it, if not at school, maybe it'll be shown at maybe through the library or somewhere local. So once again, good luck on your endeavors, and we'll see your film on Rogers.
Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. As Canada turns 150 and Canadians around the country celebrate the moments that shaped our country, many have forgotten the dark moments that changed us as a nation. The Canadian tapestry is filled with love and stitched together with understanding. But as the years go by, threads become severed and pieces become lost. Events, cultures, and people are forgotten. In celebrating all that we have achieved as a nation, we must never forget all that's been lost. Our stolen children. The Canadian residential school system was in operation between the years of 1830 and 1996 and was one of the darkest chapters in Canadian history. Driven by fear of Aboriginal customs and culture, the Canadian government stole Indigenous children from their families, communities, and way of life and placed them into government and church-run residential schools. An amendment to the Indian Act in 1884 authorized the forced removal of First Nations children. The goal of these schools was to assimilate Aboriginal children into Euro-Canadian society and to extinguish the Aboriginal culture from future generations of Canadians. It is estimated that over 6,000 Indigenous children died in these schools. Today, Indigenous people still feel the trickle-down effect of these schools, and many social and economic issues can be directly linked to experiences faced in these schools. As a nation, we must find ways to understand, to learn, and to heal. My name is Megan Akers, and I'm currently standing in front of the first residential school in Canada, the Mohawk Institute in Brantford, Ontario. It was one of more than 130 residential schools across Canada, where more than 150,000 First Nation, Métis, and Inuit children were forced out of their way of life into what the government saw as civilized culture. When they arrived at these schools, all evidence of their Aboriginal culture was removed, from their hair, to their clothing, to the very language they grew up speaking. Siblings were separated, and often all ties to their Aboriginal families were severed. Any education children received was geared towards menial jobs in domestic service, farming, and trades. Many of the students at these schools suffered terrible verbal, mental, physical, and sexual abuse. Children who spoke their Aboriginal language and did not conform were punished severely. Children suffered illnesses and even died from preventable diseases, such as tuberculosis and influenza, and in many cases, graveyards were built next to the schools, and children that died were placed in unmarked graves. Many parents were never even notified about their children's death.
In the years before and since the closure of the last residential school in Canada in 1996, many survivors have spoken out about the abuse and neglect they suffered, but it wasn't until 2008 that Prime Minister Stephen Harper offered a formal apology on behalf of the Canadian government to all residential school survivors. In 2006, the Government of Canada implemented the Indian Residential School Settlement Agreement and established a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to document and compile vital historical records of this bleak moment in Canada's history. The TRC has been a first step in facilitating the healing process for victims and their families and educating all Canadians.
Learning about residential schooling is crucial to the building and shaping of our nation and future. As Canadians, we each bear responsibility to learn, remember, and address the great achievements, but also dark injustices in our nation's history. We need to work collectively to shed light on the experiences of Aboriginal Canadians so that we might all become part of the healing process. The experiences of all Canadians have contributed to the fabric of our nation, and as we look on to the next 150 years, it is our duty to preserve all the pieces and to create a stronger future for all Canadians. And to remember
our stolen children.
We had a great time here